Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the running club, welcome back to the track. Tonight I'm doing a session called 300s. So I was just about to explain the session for tonight, which was meant to be 300s, but can you see that patch of ice there behind us on the track? That got worse. The temperature was absolutely freezing and the coaches decided to cancel the track session. We did an alternate session down on the down on the prom, which was out on backs. The idea for that is you run out for a minute, then 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes nice and gently. You turn around and the idea is to run back faster. There's no set paces, there's no set times. It's just make sure you run back faster than a minute, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes. So we went down and did that session instead. I joined the C group because that's where I've kind of been lately. I think I was going to join D group on the track session because I wasn't sure how I was gonna fare. My legs were still really heavy from cross country, and I spoke to Sony as well, and he said his legs were pretty heavy as well. So yeah, cross country on the weekend was a bit harder than what I expected it to be, and what I could obviously I still felt it in my legs. But yeah, John onto the prom, get a session done still, regardless of sore legs or not. You've still got to train because you end up with sore legs anyway. So, because of all the confusion with what was happening, I forgot to start my camera to start with. So this is the first 1 minute, like the return leg of it, the fast part of it. Yeah, just cut like this is the kind of thing that my brain still struggles with. If there's like confusion and changes in what I'm doing, I've got watches to start. I've got obviously to start running. I'm chatting with people and trying to turn cameras on and just remember everything, which was actually really good on the weekend at cross country because I wasn't allowed to film, so it was just go out and run. And normally my camera doesn't last long enough, so I've got to try and stop it and start it constantly to get footage all the way through the race. And that's it. That's the return of the first minute done. And then this is the slow out for the second minute. We actually reduced this session because normally what we'll do 3 sets of this session. As I said, it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes, but we'd normally do that 3 times. But because the session was moved, and we're normally on the track later because of the kids, because there's normally kids on the track. So our session normally starts at 7 o'clock, but track sessions start at 7:15, like I say, because there's kids on the track and there's just too many people and for safety reasons. So by the time we're done one normal warm up, then ran down to the prom, we actually only did 2 sets of this. So we only did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to get it within the hour that we're normally training. So this is the slow out for the 2 minute leg. The turnarounds can be quite bad on this because obviously there's quite a lot of people in the groups. We're normally split up, but I don't know. I guess because there was so much confusion with what was going on and stuff, we ended up just getting in the groups of A, B, C, and D and just going for it. So there's some fasty people in this, I've been joining the faster groups lately anyway. And I said to myself tonight I wasn't going to join the faster groups. But as I was still feeling my legs, I was trying to hold it back anyway a little bit, which you'll see. I'm not. I'm at the front when I turn because when the whole group tries to turn, it can be a bit of a pain. And I normally just turn on the spot. I don't try and do like a big loop or anything because there's just too many people. And you'll see we alternate our runs. Like because we start on the prom and you'll run northwards up the prom, then you'll run southwards, then you'll run northwards and southwards, and you'll just keep alternating. And each group will do so. A will start north, B will start south, and it just keeps the prom a bit with too much less congestion. Because obviously there's the public on here as well and cyclists and stuff because there's a new cycle lane. And it just keeps everyone away because the last thing we want is to get complaints from the public. We're running in public area, so there's me just turning on the spot. So obviously I'm at the front for now, and then you'll see loads of people come past us. A lot of faster people putting in massive efforts because obviously everyone's at different areas of where they're training. Here they come, there's Simon, he's flying at the minute. You know how it is, I just didn't, my legs were still heavy from cross country, so I didn't want to go with them. I thought, you know how it is, we'll see how we get on. And like I say, we normally do 3 sets of this, so I wasn't sure how many we were going to do, so I was asking that like constantly through. I'd asked a few times, I was like, are we doing 2 or are we doing 3? Because obviously the time's getting a bit late. And I didn't want to blow all my effort in the first set and just completely wipe myself out. I mean, I know it's training, but you've still got to measure your efforts so you don't kill yourself. Andrew and Georgina. I was talking to Georgina on this because she's recently came back from having a baby. So I was asking her like how she's doing really well coming back. And I was asking if she, because obviously with neither of us have ran for quite a considerable amount of time, and me being off ill and she's been off having a baby. So I was wondering how she was finding the return to fitness, because I've found it like, I feel like this time around it's been much harder than the first time that I came to training with the club and tried to get, because I started in the club at like 25-minute part runs and eventually got down to just under sub 20. And I feel like that process the first time around was a lot easier than it was this time. So I was asking Georgina how she was finding it, and she said she wasn't doing too bad. She seemed to be finding it. And then obviously this is the start of the first of the 3 minutes, slowly running out. Big groups, as you can see, the other group coming past us as well. Yeah, so Jo, I was just trying to gauge her effort and see how she was finding the return to fitness this time. Because obviously we used to run a B team with me as well. So we both kind of progressed at the same time. But this time around, and we seem to be doing the same this time, I guess, because she's in the C group and so am I. But I think she's been in the C group for a few weeks now. Obviously not 100% sure on that. But it's just interesting to see how different people are finding their return to fitness and trying to get back into running again. Essentially starting from scratch, it feels like. And I'm struggling. Like, I feel like it's a lot harder than it was. If you've had a massive, an issue like mine, being in hospital, not being able to run for ages, if that's the reason why you're watching the channel, then know that I find it much harder than the first time I got back. I do have a 2-year-old this time as well, though. So obviously first time I didn't have a kid. So trying to juggle all family life and running at the same time is obviously, that takes its toll as well. So I don't think it's all to do with the cancer or the surgery or the recovery. I think a lot of it's to do with fatigue from just looking after a baby as well. With baby's 2-year-old, but it's the same thing. You're getting up at 6 a.m. every day, not getting loads of sleep. And it does take its toll. It's massive. Yeah. I'll let you watch the session. Yeah, enjoy. Thanks very much for tuning in. I do have another session coming up before Christmas, which is Parloffs, which we do every year. It's a Christmas special kind of thing we do. We get into teams and we race each other. Obviously, I'll explain that on that session, on that video. But that's happening next Tuesday. So I'll record that as well. Hopefully, I'll get one of the coaches to record some of it as well, if I can. We'll see. But yeah, enjoy the footage. Cheers for tuning in, guys. So this is the last rep of the session. And I've just been talking to my coach, Graham, there in front of us in the black hat with the yellow. I've just been telling him that the cross-country was the first time I'd actually raced someone. So I decided, with this being the last rep, to try and push and give it a bit more energy than I have been recently. Because I've still been kind of holding myself back, but I think now is the time that I can start really pushing my training. My legs feel strong. I feel all right. I think I've built up enough energy to be able to push, or not, enough strength to be able to push myself and not totally explode until Dale came past us, obviously. He's flying at the minute as well. He's had a bit of an Achilles injury. Oh, yeah, Achilles issue. So he's flying at the minute. So I wanted to try and go with him. At first I was like, nah, I can't stay with him because I know he's running really well. But I thought, nah, let's keep going. Yeah, pushed really hard on this effort. Because like I say, I knew I had nothing left. I didn't catch him, spoilers. And by the time I got to the chippy, which is just up these lights here, like, I've regretted my decision so much. My legs were like absolute treacle. Like I said earlier, they were still struggling from cross-country. So going out fast and trying to hold on for that length of time was just, it was not a great idea. Obviously the footage is terrible because I'm putting in a massive effort and it's strapped to my cap. The thing is, I've got the bouncing kind of effect stuff. The camera's meant to reduce it. But obviously it doesn't do it enough when there's lights all over. Apologies for that, but yeah, it's the camera. And anyway, thanks so much for tuning in to another video, guys. As I said earlier, next one will be a Christmas special, so tune into that. Thanks very much, and look after yourselves.